It's time to talk about Middle Tennessee Christian School sports. It's MTCS Cougar Corner, presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. Each week we sit down with the coaches to recap the latest games and preview what's ahead. It's time to talk about the orange and white on MTCS Cougar Corner, right here on WGNS and Big G TV. Stay tuned, the show is coming up right after this message from our sponsors.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
The large majority of our kids are involved in athletics or extracurricular activities, one or the other, and most are doing multiple activities.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
And that's a great preparation for life. How many of us in our life are just doing one thing? So a well-rounded student is a huge deal.
Invest in your child's future in a Christ-centered environment with many athletic and extracurricular choices.
Without a doubt, our students have the opportunity to be involved in multiple activities.
To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Here's Dr. Russell McKissick with TOA.
We have a passion here for taking care of our athletes here in Rutherford County. We really do our best to take care of them.
Experts in joint, bones, and muscles.
Many years we've been taking care of athletes around here, and we've just picked up where Dr. John started, and we just keep going.
TOA has a playbook that gets you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. TOA, live your best life.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
People love to see us on the schedule when they have a home game because our fans show up.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
The way we travel is just phenomenal. Our parents and our community are fully engaged in our school. When we compete, we're trying to do it in a way that honors God. We want to win. We also want to do it in a way that pleases Him.
Providing Christian values and academic excellence in a nurturing environment. That's Middle Tennessee Christian School. Invest in the future of your child. Find out more at mtcscougars.org.
We're back for MTCS Cougar Corner, presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance and fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com, and Big G TV.
Danny Brewer back with you here on Cougar Corner, and now I am extremely pleased to be joined by head boys basketball coach Chris Lawson. Coach Lawson, how are you this morning?
Doing well this morning. It's warm outside, sun shining. Looks like it's going to be a nice day.
Shoot, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure if the groundhog was right or not. I mean, I know that earlier in the week was a little chilly, but I think when you look forward, today is going to be gorgeous and for the next week. So I don't know. You think groundhog right or wrong? He said 6 more weeks of winter.
Well, I think we've probably all been fooled before by some of these early warm days like this. It's easy to kind of get sucked into the idea that, oh, man, spring is here. But I would be willing to bet that we're going to have some really cold days and some maybe not ice and snow, but we're going to have some gloomy, wet, cold days coming here and there down through the spring. It always happens.
Well, March can be a mystery month because like you said, hey, it'd be 70 tomorrow, but it might be 30 2 days from now. We don't know. It can be a very much a mystery month.
Absolutely. You're spot on that for sure.
Yeah, because the thing about it is, you're winding. It's a good time of year because you're winding up basketball in high school and you're starting high school baseball. And to me, high school baseball is the most brutal sport for fans because you don't know what it's going to be. So it can be, because my son played high school baseball and all that kind of stuff. So as a fan, I can speak to those brutal days.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that it does bring some, when you have these days sprinkled in, it does bring great feelings of, hey, there's warmer days coming. We got more daylight every single day. It's nice to get outside to be able to do that some early in the spring like this.
Well, Coach, let's talk a little bit about basketball. That's enough about the weather, and I didn't get my meteorology degree, so we'll move on to basketball, which is the most important thing that we're here for. Talk a little bit about the Cougars' season, because I think your season is now complete. Am I correct?
You are. We, overall, I think I'm very happy and very pleased with progress that was made in year one of coming over and being at MTCS over boys basketball. I think as a coach, we always feel like there's some opportunities that maybe had been missed and that, we probably could have done a little bit better on some things here and there, and that's just the nature of it. But when you step back and really look at it from where we began to where we are now, we definitely have moved in the right direction and continue to move in the right direction. So, I'm very happy about that stuff. Now, satisfied? Definitely not. Currently, as soon as we finished up a couple weeks ago, or it's not quite been 2 weeks, but, just started planning, as a coaching staff, started talking about things that we want to accomplish this spring and summer and in the off season and that kind of thing, the direction we want to go. So that's kind of where we are right now.
Well, Coach, in today's high school sports world, there really is no off season. Am I correct about that?
You are correct about that, and it can be positive and it can be negative. I think that some of the things that I notice, being at different schools and around different age kids and just in general, we've seen a pretty obvious shift in what's important at some points to different folks as far as school basketball or travel basketball. And travel basketball is great. It gives kids an opportunity to get extra experience, to, get time with different coaches and to develop and all those things. But it also can be a negative thing because I know for us, if you're not careful, you'll be playing in some type of travel ball tournament every single weekend. And so you go through a school ball season, you finish, and it's time to start travel ball. And, I think it's important for there to be breaks. We have to, with my son and my daughter at home, we have to be very intentional about those things and also about you need to play multiple sports. It can't just be, hey, we just finished school ball season, let's go right back to the gym and let's just keep rolling all the way through July and into August. And, and just like there has to be some breaks, in my opinion, in there to keep things fresh and in the best interest of the student athlete.
Well, I think you've made an outstanding point, Coach, that I think gets lost in the shuffle a lot these days because of the emphasis of all this stuff and the emphasis of travel. And I mean, I coach travel baseball, so I understand, but I have a similar mentality because kids still need time to be kids, and high school players are kids.
They are kids. Me and my wife talk about that a lot, but we talk about that as a staff too. It's a serious thing. You're trying to build a program, you're trying to get better, and you're trying to, accomplish things. But there's some simple things that we don't need to lose sight of. One, does everybody enjoy what they're doing? And is everybody, do you see smiles? Do you see fun being had at times? And that doesn't mean that, there's not hard work happening and that there's not commitment and that kind of thing. But especially, in those younger ages, 5th, 6th grade, into the middle school basketball times, there needs to be fun in order for kids to want to come back. There needs to be enjoyment and fulfillment in order for kids to want to continue to do something. And that's in any sport or anything that they're doing. So you also want to give them multiple opportunities. I all the time now we're seeing, more specialization in one sport at an earlier age. And it's almost in a way, it's robbing kids of that limited time they have as a kid, as a child. give them as many opportunities. See what they are interested in and push them in that. Give them opportunities and see what they want to do and push them in that.
When you're at a school like Middle Tennessee Christian, that's smaller environment of sorts, there's a lot of multi-sport players still at your school. I know it's some of the bigger schools it may not be as prevalent, but it's still pretty prominent at Middle Tennessee Christian, you feel like?
It's there's definitely overlap. It's changing all the time, though. I mean, just what I said a while ago, I think that there's just so much opportunity now to like when our basketball season is over with, any basketball player in our program just at Middle Tennessee Christian can find an AAU team to play on and continue to play basketball. Whereas 10 to 15 years ago, going back a little ways, there wasn't as many and opportunities. There wasn't as many teams. And so it was more likely that instead of just going home and being bored, kids would go to baseball. Kids would go to track. They would, maybe soccer, whatever the case is, they would go to that next sport and they would play something different. And of course, for me, that's how it was for me when I was coming through. My dad was my high school coach, but, I did those different things. And I'm sitting back trying to kind of look at it now from a middle-aged adult standpoint in 2026. Have these changes been for the best? I know we have more opportunities for kids to develop in whatever sport that they love, but, is that what's best for kids?
I think you're right, Coach. The jury is still out on that kind of stuff for sure. Let's talk a little bit about your seniors. How many seniors did you have on the team?
We had two seniors. We had Darian Cotton and Jackson Piercy, and they were great all year. They were great. I think first and foremost, from where the program was and maybe just needing a little bit more stability and, for it to get going in a positive direction and that kind of thing. They were great from the beginning with their leadership. I don't think there is a single day from last spring, summer, all the way till we finished up that I would say, well, they didn't show up ready to practice. They didn't show up ready to do what we were asking them to do. They did a great job every day. They were vocal. They would go full speed in drills. Whether they played the entire game or didn't play any in a game, and same thing in practice, they were still doing those same things. And that helped us a ton as far as making some strides this year in our program.
So, Coach, with only two seniors, obviously you had some younger kids on the team as well. So talk about some of those kids that you got that'll be coming back. So didn't you have a really good freshman group?
We do have a really good freshman group. It's a bigger group. I think we've got 7 in that group, which is if you look at it as a graduating class in 4 years, that's a big class, and that's a lot to lose in one time. But out of that group this year, 4 of those kids played varsity basketball at some point in the game, with 2 of them playing quite a bit, starting on and off throughout the year, and just learning. And that's another thing too, is playing young kids. And we didn't quite. We'll talk winning and losing for a minute. We didn't quite win as much as we would like to win, but what we were, talking about and preaching and kind of just trying to get them to see all year long is you all are young. You're all coming back again next year as sophomores, and we'll continue to build, and maybe we do just a little bit better. And then you come back again as juniors, and then at some point through there, that's when you really start to see the shift and the turn and kind of like, okay, now it's starting to pay off a little bit. So we're super excited about that group as freshmen. If I can go through a couple names, 2 or 3 names real quick. Noah Owens, he played last year as an 8th grader and, got experience. And so coming in this year, I could see immediately in the summertime where that paid off just from last year to this year. Even if they didn't have a ton of success from a team standpoint, he wasn't overwhelmed coming in as a freshman. Because, we can be honest that juniors and seniors are bigger, faster, stronger most of the time. We also got another freshman guard named Isaiah Buchanan, and he transferred in from Westwood in Coffee County, but he did great. He was very, very. He played JV mostly for the first half of the season, but he was a very good student of the game and attentive in practice, and just kept working and got to a point where he was starting midway through the season. And same thing, you can kind of see, all right, down the road, things are going to be pretty good. He's got a natural knack for kind of how the game needs to be played, the pace, the speed, time and clock, all those kind of things. He's about 6 foot, 6'1", so he grew a little bit this year. And I think if you ask anybody on staff, one of the best things that he did was rebound. There's several games he was a leading rebounder for us just because he wanted to come in and make an impact. He wanted to come in and contribute in some way. So, those 2 kind of leading the charge in that freshman group, we're super excited about.
Well, Coach, I think that, you've done a marvelous job over there at Middle Tennessee Christian School. When we talk about growth and we talk about impact and all that stuff, you have certainly had a very positive impact over there, and we're really happy to have you in our community.
That's very kind of you to say, and it's not easy. I'll say that. But
well, Coach, here's the whole deal. It ain't easy being good. Coach Chris Lawson, we certainly appreciate your time, and we wish you the best luck over there at Middle Tennessee Christian School next year.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all.
All right, thanks, Coach. Best of luck.